talking to JB, needs no introduction, homegrown guy. We're so proud of you. Welcome back to the place where it all started for you.
And you know what? You were significant in that because you welcomed me into the fold. And the fact of the matter, the reason that I'm here, I got to say it right up front. Samara Martin, she taught me. Sandra Butler-Jones told her back in the day, and you know the positions better than me, she said, we got a basketball guy, despite me looking like I'm a football player, make him a broadcaster. Sam pulled her hair out. So when she called to say, Bruce needs you here, you show up.
Yeah, a basketball guy. Get out of here. You're one of the greatest basketball players ever to come out of Washington. But let me ask you this. A lot of people don't understand. You're a minority owner with the Nats. What's that like? How do you become a part owner of a professional baseball team?
Wow. First of all, baseball was my first love, Bruce. Back when I was weighing about 175 pounds, my uniform looked like it was hanging on a hanger.
What was your best position?
Outfield.
Okay.
But Morgan Wooten saw me playing CYO baseball, knocking home runs. He wanted me to come to DeMatha to play baseball. But when I went to his camp over at St. John's High School, his and Joe Gallagher, God bless him, I never picked up a bat after that again. So baseball was my first love. My father and my uncle, they used to go and watch the Homestead Grays play here in D.C. at Old Griffith Stadium.
In the old Negro League, absolutely.
Old Negro League.
Absolutely.
And then my neighbors, Mike and Harold Cardozo and Sonny and Tina Small, developers, they knew the Lerner family and they introduced me to Mark Lerner. We became friends. And even though I was involved as an advisor to the baseball team, the commissioner said, no, if you guys are going to put a team together to compete for bringing a franchise to Washington, they need to have a financial stake in it and be involved. And we understand that the Lerners, they are a family business, so we got that. And I wasn't looking to be involved operationally.
You got to have some skin in the game. They didn't want to figure
Absolutely. Hey,
put
Bruce,
some money up.
And even though my skin in the game might be the equivalent to per diem for the Lerners, I've got skin in the game.
Everything's relative. It's big bucks. You wrote a big check. Let's fast forward. This team was 19-31 at one point. Martinez and Rizzo. We're all calling for, maybe we made a mistake here. Maybe we're going the wrong direction. Maybe we fired the wrong coach a while back. Were these guys ever in danger of being fired? I mean, what was the ownership thinking?
I did have a conversation, a communication with Mark Lerner. He said he never, ever thought about firing Davey Martinez. And Bruce, fans are such that they look strictly at the numbers. 19-31, get him out of here. There's so much more to it. Anybody who knows what they're doing when they hire a coach or a manager or anyone needs to look at the whole picture. And how Davey Martinez handled adversity spoke volumes about him. Hey, look, Chuck Noll with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Only 3 coaches in 50 years with the Steelers. He was 1-13 his first year. And the Rooney said, we've got exactly the right man, because they knew how he would deal with difficulty. Joe Gibbs with Washington was 0-5 when he started here with Washington. But if you know a guy is bringing the right elements to the table as far as being a manager or a leader, you stick with them, because how they handle adversity speaks volumes to what kind of coach, manager, or leader they're going to be.
That's really good stuff. So when you look at this team, what is it you like? What do you see in this team that convinces you they could bring it all home?
Togetherness. Bruce, and I've learned, you and I have been around for a while now.
A little while, yeah.
In any successful organization, franchise, business, at the end of the day, all things being equal, you bring talent to the table, you can still deliver. You've got contacts all around this area, big respect, but it's the relationship. People also like you. You can have a conversation, and you're known for that as a broadcaster. And I remember the many heated conversations that you had with the former mayor, Marion Barry. God bless him, who you respected, but you can ask the tough questions. You can lead a franchise if there is a relationship. I know people say, hey, it's a trite expression, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. Davey Martinez, having been a player, doesn't get up in their face, doesn't curse and berate them. He knows the right buttons to push.
He never lost the locker room.
Absolutely.
He always had.
And that's key. Because he's got veterans. Look at the number of free agents that they brought in. Most teams are skewing young, and I understand that, but even as you and I were talking before going on the air, it is crucial when building a franchise or a winning organization of any type to have seasoned people who've been there, who know what being a pro is all about, to show the youngsters how to be a pro and to handle difficulty.
I got you. I heard one of the commentators say that the Nats have the oldest team.
Absolutely.
We concentrate on the young guys. We've
oldest.
got a lot of veterans on that team.
They are the oldest. Average age like 31.1. So they are the oldest team. But people need to get out of the mindset equating old with not being valuable or having any more utility. Are you kidding me? In Eastern culture, they respect the seniors because they bring wisdom to the table.
Right.
That's exactly what's played out here.
Right. Do you have a favorite player on this team? I like Howie Kendrick.
Oh,
in part because I never heard of a black guy named Howie. I'm like,
hey,
Howie.
So what nickname would he have had in the neighborhood if he had a name like Howie?
I don't know, but his real name is Howard. And he's one of the old players. I mean, this guy is just bringing it. I love his game. I love what he said when he was named MVP. He talked about the whole team.
Absolutely. But that's being a pro. The veterans that Mike Rizzo, let's give him big credit, big props, and Mark Lerner, the managing general partner, he let him stay in place. Mike Rizzo is a lifer. He knows it. Look, Bruce, in businesses today, so many people talk about analytics. It plays a role, make no mistake about it. But there's also a role for having a finger on the pulse of your organization. Emotional intelligence, knowing which buttons to push. Tony Dungy, when he was coaching in the NFL, people were saying, before he got his first job, when he thought he had his first job, the owner said, how are you going to motivate this team? And he says, you know what? I think the guys will show me respect because I'm going to respect them, which, by the way, my high school coach, Morgan Wooden, said is the best way to motivate. John Wooden did it at UCLA. The owner said, you'll never make it in this league. You don't know how to curse. He says, I don't need to curse and disrespect somebody. He didn't get that job. Tony proved that his system works by respecting guys. Tough, grizzled NFL players said the one thing Warren Sapp, and I can quote his name, said the worst thing that he wanted to hear from coach in a film session is to stop the video and look at Warren and say, what were you thinking? Not getting up in his face, cursing him, just simply, what were you thinking? And that's what Davey Martinez has done.
You know this as well as anybody. We got a lot of new people that have moved to the Washington area, specifically, you know, to the district. A lot of tension. This baseball team and winning, you know, brings people together. Let me ask you something. As a native Washingtonian, okay, you remember the Senators. You know, we talked about the old Negro League. What has this team done? What is this team capable of doing for the area and the people here?
Nothing different than what winning does with any organization. There are cities around the country, Boston being one, they will call this as, or Green Bay, calling themselves Title Town. It lifts up the community at large. There is civic pride. Everybody wants to be associated with the winner. You look at the major colleges, Bruce, around the country, and those teams that are associated with winning, applications go up for admission.
For the best teams, absolutely right.
Absolutely. Georgetown had that happen back during the days of Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning and everyone else. Absolutely.
John Thompson and I used to talk about that.
Absolutely.
Winning.
Hey, John Thompson's teams put up a lot of buildings there on campus at Georgetown.
Absolutely. This is really great stuff. Personally, the pride you have in this team. Do you have a favorite player by any chance?
No, you know what? I like the entire team, and I really mean that because it is team. And that's the way it was underscored by my mother and father, God bless them first and foremost, and Morgan Wooten. And the reason I say that, not to be politically elusive, Morgan used to say it takes 10 hands to score one basket. 5 players on the floor on offense, it takes 10 hands to score one basket. There may be the star, but all the other players who played the unsung role are just as important as well too. If I had to hazard and be pushed into that, I like Ryan Zimmerman because I think he is an awesome face of the team. 15 years, he's still there and he's still delivering, but he is the best type of leader. Clearly I'm excited about what's happened with him because he's a good story in terms of overcoming difficulty.
I love what you said about Zimmerman. He's not just still there because he was the first guy they drafted out of the University of Virginia. The boy is bringing it. He's putting some bat on the ball and he's making some incredible defensive plays.
Hey, much like, I'm not trying to say he's playing the same role, but that's why you give leadership, Mark Lerner, Mike Rizzo, and clearly Davey Martinez credit because they realize not only is he still bringing the bat, yes, he's got to perform, that's a given, but look at all the intangibles that he brings to the team as well, too. He's the perfect leader.
They're having fun, too.
Oh,
he watches
at the end,
that's a big difference I see in this team. They're having fun. These young guys they brought in, mixing in with the old guys.
Winners can have fun. And winners do have fun. There's no question about it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Good stuff. Nice wow. That's it. I wanted to hang in with you another hour.
Oh, God. You're great, man. We love you. Thank you so much for this. We really appreciate this.